Hi, how are you, everybody? So happy to be here.
It's so good to have you back. And how fitting. We're getting ready to do another retreat. And I'm excited to talk about last year's, or actually 3 years ago, retreat. And then
Yeah,
this year, because some people just don't really understand. And I mean, if you all don't know, if you haven't heard that last podcast, Candace and I have known each other for over 15 years. And we met at a Personal Success Institute kind of retreat. And actually, we did the whole institute, the workshops and week long programs. And we just got better at whatever we were doing. And now we're fast forward like 15 years later. And
yeah,
I am here in Seattle. She is in Hawaii. And stages, we're now married. I have children.
I
Candace
do
started a
not.
school. Candace does not, but she has her students, which are like children sometimes, like we all need to. I'm in her class, so I could be like, Mama.
Thing is, because of that time period in our lives when we met, we both are committed to personal growth and always finding new ways and perspectives to see things. And I think, with this retreat that we're doing, it's to begin to look at things from a holistic viewpoint because it's not just about the body, it's not just about spirituality, it's not just about the mental mindfulness or even just the emotions. It really all works hand in hand together. And now we are bringing that to you in our wonderful rejuvenation retreat.
It's going to be a 4 day retreat in Poulsbo, Washington. It's beautiful, great setting. I always feel like I need a retreat to just remove myself from my environment and get perspective, right? There's the perspective that we see because we're in it. It's a perspective that we see because we're out of it, but we're still close by so that we can see what isn't working and what is working in our lives. Like, what can we change up and what could we get better at? Because no matter what, I mean, if you are real with yourself, you'll understand that there's always an area you can get better at, like meditation, the mind, the body, the spirit. There's so many elements that work well together. And over the years of training clients, like I just see everybody's at a different stage. But once we tap into that area that keeps saying, hello, I'm here, I need some support, then it's like I see my clients flourish and just change. And so it was great being able to take Candace's classes and school and be able to get into that other department of the mental health, right? The spirit and the emotions, and just really everybody doesn't grow up the same way. We all grow up in different environments, different cultures, different ways of being. So it's nice to have autonomy and understand like we can create our own as adults, as and no matter what, whenever we change as people, like we change is importance and what is important to me right here and right now. I mean, my body has always been important because I always think I want to be able to catch up and keep up with my daughter. I want to be able to swim and move and do things until I exit. And so that's always been a priority for me. That's always been my training. And along the way, I found there's all these smaller competitions, fitness competition, whatnot, that keeps me going. But that's not my sole intention, right? And so it's figuring that out for ourselves. And when we took those classes, when we're growing and changing and understanding who we are, you get to see a certain part of like your personality that you still use that doesn't necessarily work in your favor, but we're just so attached to our habit of being that it's so tough to figure out like, well, what if I'm like that? I'm not like that anymore. That is one of the main things, is just being able to see what is working in our lives and have relationships, have other women that are in it with you. So you have that community, and you also have us directing you, whether it be food, movement, journaling, tools that you can take with you, and perspective. I think as you see other women and you notice like they are able to do it, like I can do that too. Right.
Mhm. I really like that you shared that sometimes we get really stuck in our lives. We have built these habits and patterns, and we are doing, doing, doing. And so to take a break and to go on a retreat, which everyone I think needs because we need to get out of our lives to see the perspective, like Adriana is saying, so that we can really hone in on what's working and what's not working. Because when you can see that, then you have this wonderful reset. And that's what Rejuvenation Retreat is all about, is to rejuvenate you, fan the flame of passion back in your life, not only from joy and mindfulness and presence, but also taking care of your body and taking care of your mind so that then this doesn't rule you, right? What rules you is your heart that guides you into exactly the right places and spaces because you know that it's there for you. Otherwise, we get really lost in the shuffle of doing, 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 doing. And then we wonder, like, well, how did this happen? Why am I here? We become super women that is extremely exhausted and feeling under the weather and just passing out without any joy, right? And we don't want that. We don't want that at all. So I think it's really important when we gather as a community that we share our stories, share our experiences, see that we're not in this alone and that we are actually experiencing a lot of the same things. And we're going to come together and begin to rewrite that story.
And one of the participants said, I am so glad that I did that retreat because I felt like it gave me some sort of tools and armor to step into what I had and understand that I wasn't alone. We had all of that spectrum in our retreat, but it just hit us all in different ways. And it really helped kind of unlock that power and that joy. I think we get in that culture of do, we forget that there's joy and pleasure also. And so that is what those days are. The first day is just getting to know each other. Second day is some food work. We did some prep work, but we also did like some energy work, thanks to Candace, and some clearings. And it was just a great way to start new. And then we were able to move, we were able to dance and do so many other great, joyful things that I hadn't done in a while. For me, I started dancing a little bit more in between my workouts and wherever I could do it. And it made people get out of themselves because that's not something that came natural. Where others, it was like really naturally. I was kind of surprised. But there you go. Like it was just another area that you encompass and you realize like, yeah, I just need a little bit of energy there to move because I'm doing the same thing and expecting different results. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was just beautiful. And just, we had there's the hot tub, a sauna, a beautiful kitchen to food prep and cook with. You'll be able to take meals home.
And we can't forget about the view. Holy moly,
Oh my
like
gosh.
staring out at the ocean and the mountains. It just is like the perfect setting to feel like you're having this reset. And I could stare at that view for hours.
And you can from the hot tub. And it's gorgeous because you are nestled in the Pacific Northwest. So you have trees all around you. And no matter what, I mean, we saw two bald eagles, we saw deer, we saw a raccoon. It's just a different beauty.
Yeah, it's very grounding. That's one thing I found about Washington is when I ground into it, it's like so uh, perfectly divine. This energy just is filling me and I feel so connected. And so I'm really excited to be there again, to travel from this gorgeous paradise to a different kind of paradise that I truly love. And I used to go visit almost every year and it's like another home away from home for me.
It's pretty gorgeous. I do admit that it really does help you ground. But we also try to get Candace to do it in Hawaii. There was too much logistics.
Next time
I
that
was
will
like, let's
happen.
do it
That's
in
going to
Hawaii.
happen.
Michelle, let's do it in Hawaii. And this is the Sherrard Beach House, which is just it's gorgeous. And there is a lot of healing in that house, generations of just joy and healing and beauty. And I feel like there's a vortex there. And the people, really, the relationships make it. Every time we gather with different groups, it's also very different. And
Mhm. If we're hanging around the same people, if we're reading the same things, we don't have an understanding of something different. And so I want to provide for you something to think about spiritually to evolve in your life, from your relationships to the way that you deal with yourself, and also in how you see things. Because oftentimes the narrative that we have had and developed over the years becomes the main story, but maybe there's something different. Maybe there's a new story that you can create. We've just been focusing more on our issues and our problems and what's not working, right? And once you bring your energy and focus to what's working, then you probably will be able to be more committed to your health, especially with all the wonderful food that we're going to eat and make and prepare, more connected to your body because you're going to be in tuned with what is hurting or what needs your attention, more in tuned with your mind and all the voices that are speaking that might not even be yours. They might be, a critical parent or a nagging child. This energy that's inside of your mind can be shifted as you begin to be aware of what's going on in there. And especially our emotions. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't like to feel emotions, right? They don't feel good. But guess what? When we actually are present with them and just be with them, they are more likely to dissolve and clear from your field, meaning your energy field, so that you don't have to recreate from that area. We oftentimes hold it all in and suppress it because, oh, no, 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 I don't want to go back there. But ultimately, you're setting it free. And then with the spiritual piece, you're going to be able to connect and align yourself in all levels so that you have this wonderful pathway to guide yourself and know what is yours and what is to be left behind.
Go into the departments of your life that you really haven't hit, that you haven't created, that you haven't imagined because you weren't allowed. And now you're in a safe environment. You're going to be with other women doing the same things. For creativity, some people get scared when it comes to painting or colors or whatnot. But what about collages and other things like that? Have you worked with music? Have you done, art? Like there's so many things about your personality to explore. So we're just going to touch on that. And then there's going to be more for the next retreat that we do.
It's going to continue to build upon each other because we're going to see all these beautiful things to do and to create and then go to different places. Like one of my dreams is to eventually go to Costa Rica. And that sounds like you'd want to do something like that too. So,
Yes.
you stick with us. And if you're a woman that is ready to explore, be adventurous, work on herself, and find the joy again in your life, then this retreat is for you.
I'm so glad that it's in Washington because some of the other ladies are like, I don't know if I can travel right now. It's like April. I'm like, don't worry, it's in Poulsbo. You just need to take a ferry. There's so much room within you and so many parts of you that you don't really know. So it's COVID taught us to go within. And so now it's just really understanding like what does work and what isn't work. And let's do this. And I want to create more trips, more vision, but I also want to take people with me because it's so much better, right? To bring in friendships that have just developed over time and they've changed their body. And now they're like, okay, what else do I want? And it's not just the body, like you mentioned. So
Because that is the most perfect thing is a lot of times we forget that we can gather with women and be uplifted and held and supported and share stories and learn from each other. And when we're in a group with other women, sometimes, there's fear because a lot of times women have had energies on each other where we felt betrayed or hurt. And, we're attempting to heal that and especially just be one with each other and be honest and transparent and just share. And from that, oh my gosh, it's just a plethora of information that we can learn from because each one of us are such wise women in our own right with all of our experiences. And so when you're gathered together with so many beautiful, strong women, it's like, holy moly, I feel empowered, I feel ready. And I know that when I get back to my life, there's other women that are doing it too.
it's great to see people's lives change and people's lives kind of grow and develop and bring other people. Some of those I love being like most of my people, it's just friends, like friends that see them change and they're like, what are you doing? Because you're looking good. And there's like, oh, okay, Adriana, and it's just so great. Like, where are you at? How are you doing? I have a girlfriend that asked me, how are you doing everything that you're doing? I said, you know what? I learned some tools in this class that I just took 2 years of. So it really has helped. I don't look at it from that perspective. I just look at it from like, what is going to bring me joy and pleasure? Because I'm ready for that. I don't want to take on any more projects. Like that was, I couldn't do that anymore. And the overwhelm and the culture of the do just wasn't working. So we invite you to come and join us. If you have any questions, we're going to be talking about it in our social media as well and answering any questions. So
Yay. Yay, I'm so excited. It's happening in literally a month. So April 27th,
7th. Hmm.
27th through the 30th, 4 days, 3 nights in beautiful Poulsbo, Washington, with Adriana and I teaching you all about food prep, how to take care of yourselves, how to change your heart and mind, and really connect spiritually. So join us.
Thank you. Thank you. Adiós, mi gente. Hasta
Thank you.
luego.